All right, are we good to go? We got to figure this thing out.
You get so awkward.
Do I? It is awkward. It is very awkward. What do I talk about myself?
Your name?
So they bring us this tiny little girl who's 3 days old.
3 days old.
And I don't know how much I'm going to be able to talk about this.
I remember her calling me.
Wow.
You know, we were like exhausted, as every foster parent is, you know. And,
Yes.
But when she said, "Babe, there's a 3-day-old little baby," it was like instant. Yes. Like there was a peace, and it just from the jump felt like the Lord was weaving a story. I was holding her, and I go, and we have 5 bio kids, and
We only
4
had
at the
4 at that
time.
time.
And I said, I love her more than our other kids. I love her the most of any human being ever. So don't tell them I said that.
We won't. We'll cut this part out.
The tagline, I would get too attached, man. And to that, I think every foster parent would say, duh. That's the point. They need you to get too attached.
Yes.
They need it.
And I remember he showed up as a 2-year-old with scars on his hands from where he had hurt himself and bit himself. Anxiety and from fear and from awful things. And I remember thinking, like, I'm 11 years old, right? I've never had to physically hurt myself at 2 years old because of the trauma that I've been through. And so it was eye-opening for me.
Sarah said, I just don't think I could do it, having loved a child and then watch them get into someone's car and drive away. And Jesse looks at us and he goes, every child deserves to be loved so much that they have people standing on the porch crying when they drive away. You know?
You're gonna learn so much because, like I said, like in the beginning, when you're preparing the 8-year-old, you're telling them there's gonna be ups and downs, but you're not telling them that your entire perspective of the world and of life and of eternity is going to be shaped and changed by this.
I'll never forget the day they brought her home when the judge granted reunification. Them and the 4 kids all had her items and they were all crying. And I was like, why is everybody crying? Like, this isn't the end. Like, they thought it was it. And that was
we're never going to see her again.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know, like, I would never close that door on them, especially with the way they loved her as their own. And I knew that and I felt it, you know?
Wow.
So I knew it was kind of the beginning of our story. That ending was actually the beginning of it.
That's incredible.
A highlight to me was when we got to see you get baptized
That's right, yeah.
at our church. You and your sister on the same Sunday was down from New York.
Yeah.
And I'll cherish that forever.
She was like, well, what is she going to call you? Because, you know, it's going to be confusing. She has so many mommies. So I was thinking, you know, she can call me aunt. She can call me, you know, that one girl that we know over there. And Hannah's like, what about Mommy Sarah? And I was like, really?
Wow.
That's so special.
I do love you guys. I never want to let you go.
Oh, wow.
Never going to let you go.
Never have to.
We are working towards a day when there will no longer be a list of children waiting for a family, but a list of families ready for children.
All of the stories that hopefully we share on this podcast will be local families just like us who are walking or have walked this journey. I think it helps our neighbors to just go, oh wow, they're just everyday people like us. And if everyday people like us next door can do this, I can too. It's real and it is hard, but it is so good and it's so worth it. Taught some of our foster kids how to ride bikes. We've taught them how to skate. Some of our kids didn't even didn't know what a s'mores was.
Right.
Like, had never had that. And it's like, man, every kid needs to know what a s'mores is. Like,
Absolutely. It's our hope to come alongside foster, kinship, and adoptive families as they're discovering and holding on to their why. We don't believe that everybody needs to be a foster parent, but we do believe that everybody could do something. And so the goal for this podcast is going to be to share stories is really the goal. We love the idea that our story, that your story matters to God, and in doing so matters to us. And so we want to share stories of foster, kinship, adoptive care, and shed light on the crisis that is the current system and the real life people and the real life stories. We want to put names and faces to numbers and statistics and here within our local community. And yeah, just remember your story matters, both to God and to us.